Good evening, everyone. Good evening. And welcome to another edition of Sisters of Legacy. We are going to go ahead and run our intro, and then we will be right back. All right, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen. So, of course, as usual, I'm going to introduce my co hosts. We have the lovely Katrina Taylor,
Hey,
and we have the wonderful Shanetta McNair tonight.
hello.
And Shanetta is going to be our newest addition to the group. Yay! And
Yes.
tonight, I don't think I mentioned it last week. Tangela Terrell, she is going to be out. She had a death in her family, so we're definitely gonna keep her in prayer. And she is greatly missed when she is not on. So let's just jump into this topic. So I feel like this topic is one of those that everybody should have some kind of feeling about. We're in the holiday season, or let's just say what should be the holiday season. I don't know how holiday-ish we're all feeling this year due to the many things and circumstances. So we're going to talk about it tonight. The holiday blues. Do you have them? Do you not? Do you know somebody that have them? And we're also going to talk about not just the holiday blues, but the holiday blues for 2020. Is it a different feeling this year than years past, years prior? We kind of just want to talk about it, our personal experiences with this year and this holiday season, and hopefully you guys will join in and comment. So let's get started, ladies. Who wants to go first? Don't jump on.
I'll go first. I think I wanted to talk about this because I know that it really had become an issue for me um, after my husband passed away. And so the years after, like each year, I anticipated how it was going to be. Oh my God, it's going to be so bad. He's not here. Um, I know that it got better over the years, but I remember one thing that like I had a friend who was also had some loss, and we were talking about um, the holiday blues. And one of the things we kind of found out over the years is that the anticipation of it is a lot worse than the actual like day or time. So like the leading up to it, you're like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so bad. That's always worse than when you actually get there and the day is there and you're like, oh, well, I guess it really wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? Um, like, and then you'll find something to be grateful for, something good happens, you know. So a lot of times if you're going into it and you tell yourself, you know what, it's not going to be that bad. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this preparation because I know that I'm going to deal with it. And I think a lot of it comes from um, like your expectations, like how you thought life would be, and it's not like that. You know, you expect it. Like I have a friend who um, she never had children. And so she always expected her holidays to be with, having kids and giving them, gifts and all that stuff. And she never had children. So it was like always every year it came around, and that feeling of that expectation of all my life, I wanted my holidays to look like this. They don't look like this.
Right.
And I also have another friend who the way his life kind of turned out, he didn't have that nuclear family, and his children were different places. So it was like he was trying to get all his kids together, and it always didn't work out. And so he would feel down because it didn't look like,
Right.
how he wanted the holidays to feel. And so there was always that looking forward, like, oh, it's not going to be, or what I always pictured, what I always wanted, things to look like. So a lot of times I think we need to have new traditions, new expectations in what your reality is. And I remember the first Christmas after my husband passed away, I didn't stay home. I didn't sit around a tree. I packed up my kids. We went to Florida. I was like, we're going to do this different because I just need a whole different atmosphere, different environment to deal with it. And so sometimes if you have a new tradition or change your environment, or just anticipate. If you anticipate like you're feeling something, all right, let's do something different. Let's change. And I know this year is a little different. Like you can't just up and go or do. But a lot of times, if you even just say, okay, we're gonna have a game night on Christmas night, or just plan something so that you're anticipating. I might be feeling a little bit down, but I'm gonna be proactive to do something about it.
That's good. So let me ask you a question. So, um, now for this year, with everything that's going on this year, what's your plan, or what has been your plan for this holiday season?
Um, I don't feel any different. I mean, I do want to. I really wish I could go away. I wish I could, book a flight. I wouldn't even mind standing in the security line, taking off my shoes. I would be okay with that this year. I just want to go somewhere. Um, but mostly, I think I'm just trying to give more. That excitement of, oh, they're gonna like this if I buy. Just trying to give more. That's kind of what's making me feel a little bit better this year. Just not really expensive gifts or anything like that. Just being thoughtful, like, oh, they're like this, so maybe I'll buy that, or they might enjoy this. That's kind of what's helping me this year, just to try to think what somebody might like, because then when they're happy and smile about what I gave them, then I could be.
Okay. Oh, what did he say? He said, does changing your environment help with the holiday blues?
I
I
would say
think.
yes.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Shanetta.
I would say yes. I think that changing it up, doing something different, kind of makes you feel different. Especially when like you talked about how the anticipation of kind of is what kind of really, like, you're like, oh, it's coming. Oh, the day is coming. Oh, I want it to be like this, but it's not going to be like that. The anticipation of, so just kind of saying, you know what, let's just break it and do something different. Let's just kind of move and. But this year, it kind of feels like, that's not, really an option for
Yeah.
a lot of people who might be experiencing that. For me, I think the first thing, not the first thing or the first time, this year I felt a little different. We have two kids. We have four kids that are technically adults. Technically. Um, technically. But three of them don't live in the house. And they're adults and they kind of have their own lives and their own things going on. So having to make appointments with them for them to kind of come for the holiday at Thanksgiving was kind of like, like it kind of brought me down a little bit because my mindset is just like, okay, we do the holiday and everybody's here. And to have to realize that they each have their own lives and they each have stuff going on that's their own, it kind of gave me like that moment of like, this isn't right. This doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel like what it's supposed to feel like. It's not the holidays because everybody won't be here. But it was kind of like a realization, and I was like, okay, you just kind of have to push and just do it anyway, and just, you know, like make it big anyway, make it grand anyway. And doing that kind of pulled me out of it, like saying, I'm just gonna do it. Like, we're just gonna celebrate this. We're gonna make it a happy time. That kind of pulled me out of the moment of, this feels wrong. This feels bad. This doesn't feel right.
Wow. Yeah, I'll say, you know, this I can't even find the right words like to put it into, but this year has kind of really, I think it's hitting me now. Like, I was doing good and I was kind of sailing through and kind of like, you know, and then Thanksgiving came, and although I kept trying to tell myself, oh, well, I was happy because I only had to cook for my house. Like, I kept trying to tell myself that to make myself feel better. It really didn't work because, like, you know, every Thanksgiving, I usually do a large part of the cooking. So even though it's rare that all of my siblings are in town, I usually share Thanksgiving with somebody, with some of them. You know, last year, I think my mom was even in town. So like almost all of us was together. And then this year, it was just me, my husband, and my kids. And although, you know, I didn't have to do a lot of cooking or a lot of cleaning or a lot of fussing at people's kids, but it just like wasn't the same, you know, for me. And I think, I don't know, I think after Thanksgiving, it just, that was like the downward for my holidays. Like, I don't even feel like it's the holiday season. I mean, I got the tree up and it got the lights outside and, you know, all this stuff, but I'm not really feeling very holiday-ish. You know, I just started making like some great friends, and now I feel like I'm on punishment. You know, you can't have people over, you know, you can't, I don't know, it's just like everything is kind of like you can't go nowhere. You know, you can't come over here, I can't come over there, you know, and trying to do stuff, you know, the Zoom calls and the, like, now I FaceTime people all the time. I don't even want to talk to you like this. I need to see, like, you know, I want to see people because things have, you know, changed so much. And I know for me, I can imagine if it's hard for me and I have a husband and 2 kids, you know, my own family, I can imagine what it's like for people that don't have family. I think it's safe to say the holidays of 2020 are the worst of our lives. I really hope by 2022 we'll be back to some sense of normalcy. You're right, Taiwan, or at least a new normal, whatever our new normal is going to look like. Because I think this is hopefully, prayerfully, this is like the worst of it, you know, and then next year will be the coming out of it. But I don't think that things are going to go back to what they were. I think we're going to have a new normal. You know, it's going to be an adjustment period, and some things probably will change forever going forward. And I say I'm still kind of looking forward to that, you know, some kind of change. But this year, I'm telling you, I just can't. It's like every day I'm just like, ugh. You know, like when somebody call me like, hey, can we do? I'm like, all right, you know, give me a task. Give me something to do to kind of take my mind off of the of it. So, I mean, I don't know if it's holiday blues or just COVID blues. I mean, you know, like, so, you know, like my spirit and all of that is not like down or anything, but just the, you know, the fleshly part of me, you know, that wants to connect to people and be around folks. That part of me is like, you know, a little slower and heavier than normal. this year. You try to perk up for the kids, and I'm trying doing different stuff with the kids and trying to take them out. They even getting to where they don't even want to go out. Like they not like, I'm like, all right, come on, we're going to stuff for what? We gotta go. I'm like, yes, we all got to get out of the house. We gotta, simple things have seemed like they're a chore this season. He said, I think with everything running together, it seems right. It's like Monday is just like Sunday now, and Tuesday's like Saturday. No day. Yeah, I will agree with that. Everything is definitely running the same. It's like we're almost in Groundhog's Day, like the movie. Like everything is just, okay, lay down, open your eyes, repeat. Lay down, open your eyes, repeat. Like that's how I say all the holidays snuck up on us. Right. I would say, I think a lot of times, we were waiting for it to pass and waiting for it to be over. But I think, it has gotten a little tough. This holiday season will definitely be one that we remember, and not in a good way. Let's just say that.
For me, like one of the main things that's bothering me is not being able to spend time with my mom.
Right.
Because she's older and she doesn't want to come out at pretty much at all. And that's holidays is my mom is at my house. I'm the youngest. I get my mother.
Now you sound like my sister.
Listen, it's the rule. Christmas morning, Mother Norris is at my house making salmon cakes and grits. That's the rule. We open presents with my mother at my house. And like, what is it gonna be this year? Like, I'm not looking forward to that. Like on Thanksgiving, we didn't even do Zoom. We did because oh, mother, Zoom. She don't know how to do that. I had to do the video on Facebook. Since she's on Facebook, I had to do it that way. To see her on Thanksgiving, and it just it wasn't right. It wasn't right, and that that's probably one of the main things that's just not sitting well with me. And I know I'm gonna go and probably leave a gift on her doorstep, but really, that ain't it. That ain't Christmas. That's not. Yeah.
So, do you think some of this will cause people to cherish the relationships they have more going into next year? Or do you think once it's over, people are going to go back to being selfish and petty?
What? Selfish and petty?
I mean, I don't mean everybody, but I mean, you know what I mean. Just
yeah. I guess. I think you kind of take like I take for granted my mom's gonna be with me on Christmas. That's I'm not asking no questions. What time are you coming? What time are you arriving at my house? So yeah, I definitely we've been all just trying to think of ways. How could we? I'm gonna try to. I'm still gonna try to go over, but like maybe we can. You stay way on that side. We'll stay on this side. I just, that's mom. So.
Yeah. My mother-in-law normally has one or the other holiday where all of us come and we kind of do the holiday together. And it was kind of different. So it's either Christmas or Thanksgiving. Like we kind of alternate between the two.
Mhm.
And so it was different knowing that we weren't going to be alternating one of those holidays.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, well, do you think, so once we decided that it was no to Thanksgiving, it was like, well, do you think we'll be able to do Christmas? Well, maybe everything will be okay.
Yeah.
And we'll all be able to go down. And it was just kind of like, no, it's probably not happening this year. We're going to push that back to next year. So it feels a little different not doing things the way, you normally would, or not even being able to kind of be with the people that you really want to be with, or to have that big gathering. Like I could, like when you said, Samantha, that you cook just for you and your family, I literally didn't do that. Like I literally cooked, like I was cooking for 50 people. And then we were all sitting here looking at the food like,
Right.
we got a lot of food. But the world was, I thinking, I was like, why did I buy a turkey? Why? I'm the only one that eats turkey. So like, why did I even do that? But I just, my mind just kind of snapped to like, let's just do it. Let's just do what we've been doing and let's just go for it. And I did. And then we were looking at the food. Like I made like 5 cakes. And I was like seriously sitting there looking at the cakes like we had no business making 5 cakes. Like why?
Yeah, and see, I purposely we had a little family meet, and I said, "Listen, we're not cooking a lot." They were like, "Why?" I'm like, "We're not." Like everybody get one dish. You could pick one dish that you want, and I was like, "And Daddy, okay, fine. Since you Daddy, you get 2 dishes." So Anthony picked 2 dishes, and then the kids each got 1 dish, and that was it. And it was still like a painful process. Because like I said, like I have 5, it's 5 of us. My mom had 5 kids. So, between the sisters and the nieces and the nephews and my brother and, typically him and his wife, or, we're over there or we're over here. Like it's always, a bunch of us, and it hasn't been anything. Even my brother's wife, she had a baby. I still haven't even seen my nephew.
That's bad.
And she had him. Lord have mercy. It's been some months. He got to be maybe like 3 months. And I haven't been over to see him, because every time I get ready to go see him, like, I feel like something, like I start sneezing or, something. And I'm like, I feel terrible. Right. You got an itch in your throat. And then, I spent a couple of weeks feeling kind of bad. And I was like, I feel terrible to go over there, and take something to somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Hi, Mama Moses. How are you? So, I haven't even been able to go see my nephew. And my sister-in-law, she's like, by the time you see him, he's gonna be walking. So I'm like, I know I'm coming. So it's so many things that have been put on hold. She said, I am great. Well, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. So yeah, this holiday season has been not just a holiday, but let's be honest, like most of the year has been a lot different than, years prior. Like this year, we were getting remarried. I just scratched the whole wedding, the whole thing. First it was push it back, and then that didn't work. So then It was like, okay, we just gonna go ahead and do it. And we did it. We bought a tent and put it up on the side of the house. And I think maybe it was 10 people here, if 10. And we did it outside, and no reception, and no trip. We had to cancel the trip. So it's like so many things, this year. It's kind of like you kind of taking hit after hit. And like I said, for me, it's not as hard to recover. I have my faith, my belief, I have my husband, I have my children. But for those people, that are single or alone, or, single parents, or just single without kids, my heart goes out to them. Like it really does. Because they don't, it's hard enough to have a support system, and then you have a support system, but you can't touch them. Right. Like Trina, you got your mom and she's great, but you can't touch her. You can't get close enough for one of them good old mother hugs.
Yeah.
Um, so my heart truly goes out to those people. And so Trina, for people that are even in your situation, I know you were saying, switch things up, but outside of the holidays and just on a basis of being, not being able to hug your mom or touch her, and feeling that disconnect, what would you say to somebody, like, to encourage them?
I mean, I feel like, you have to try to do, be creative, try to do as much as you can do. Even a Zoom or a FaceTime or anything you can do, or even like this Christmas, for the past few Christmases, my family's been doing a gift exchange. So it's kind of like a secret Santa, but it's a gift exchange. So we can't come together to exchange the gift. So we're gonna, the plan is to send the gift to your person. Hopefully they don't know who it's from. And then on a Zoom, open the gifts.
Yes.
And then say, oh, that's from me. So we're hoping it works. But like, even that, it's like, it's just something to have something, and you know what I'm saying, at least can come together kind of sort of, and still have gift giving and still have some sort of fellowship with each other, smile and laugh and get to see each other a little bit. So if you can, try to find a way to be creative with it, even if you send somebody, some tea bags. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm gonna call you. We're gonna make our tea and we're gonna drink it together at the same time.
Yeah.
We're gonna enjoy. We're gonna clink glasses on the screen, something. So just try to be, as creative as you can and make the best of it at this point.
Right. We with the Purpose of Forever group, we did a gift exchange. There's this app. It's called Elfster.
That's
You
what
put
we're
all
using.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Put
what
all
we're
the
using.
things in, and it distributes them. And so actually next Monday we'll be on here and everybody will be opening their gifts, and we're gonna do it together with the couples. So I'm hoping that's gonna be great. I would say to somebody, listen, if you're single, if you're by yourself, or if you're feeling lonely, I know some people hate Facebook and they hate all this stuff, but let's be honest, through this pandemic, some of this Facebook stuff has been very helpful. Even if it's nothing more than comic relief. Some of the memes,
that's for sure.
some of the stuff that has become memes, some of the TikTok videos, at the very least, some of that stuff has been able to make you laugh on a day that you like, I want out. So I would say, to people right now, find an online family. There's groups for everything. You would be surprised. That group for people that like to chew their toenails. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff. There is a community online somewhere for you. I would say, people find a community online of some friends. You don't got to share too much. You might just get in the room and laugh at the other people in there, whatever, to kind of help so you don't feel so alone. I mean, we can't really touch each other, but you can touch someone with your words. Sometimes watching other people laugh, watching other people smile, like all those things are very, very helpful when you're feeling down. Don't just sit in a corner. Don't just, don't let that feeling kind of, overtake you. And then there's churches everywhere. Listen, on a Sunday, you could watch 50 churches all before 2:00.
It's true.
You can.
It's true.
And I'm telling you, somebody, if you just keep clicking down like that, click down like that, like there's
one.
Right, there's gonna be somebody that's gonna say something that you like, yes, that was great. That's what I needed. So listen, look, right now online, these are one of our greatest assets. Let's use that. I always say to people, pick up some of them old hobbies. Like maybe you used to like to crochet. I don't know why that was the first thing that came to mind, but my mother crochets. Whatever. Listen, get you some yarn and crochet. Make wigs. There's so many things, that people are into. But I would say, find that thing that can kind of lift the burden off your heart. Because it is real. They've talked about the suicide rates and stuff. That doesn't have to be your story. It does not. Like they say, slide in people DMs. I'm not saying trying to get a date. I'm saying you might can find a friend. You see, like, hey, at this point, we all anonymous. We all connected. Just slide in there. Hey, girl, you look like you might be nice to talk to. I don't know. Try something. At the least, it might be funny. I don't know. I'm always looking for, the comic relief. Because if I can laugh, then I'm good. So, try something different. Do something new. Shanetta, what did you want to say?
I definitely agree with that. I say just you have to be creative. You can't, and a lot of times we allow ourselves to kind of slip into those dark places and those slumps. And when you're in a situation like this where we're spending so much time alone and so much time isolated from other people and the norm of what we had been previously doing to kind of pull ourselves up and start ourselves back up, you're going to have to find something different to do it. Whether it's saying, hey, okay, we all go to Walmart. We got to get our groceries. Meet me at Walmart. We'll socially distance with our masks and shop together and get our food together, and then get on Zoom when we get home and cook it together. Whatever you have to do to come up. I've gone to Zoom birthday parties. We threw my daughter a Zoom graduation party and graduation ceremony because the school did graduation back in summer. They did graduation virtually, so we just did a Zoom and shared the graduation. All they were doing was showing kids pictures. So we did the whole and we took the cameras outside and let her throw her cap in the air, so that we could still experience those moments with people that would have traveled to come. So we just kind of have to do that. Like Saturday, the youth at our church will be getting together to bake cookies and sing Christmas carols together, and make cards for our senior citizens and mail them to them. So that's you just have to come up with a new way, but allow yourself to connect with people. When you when we're in situations like this and you're dealing with the holiday blues, you have to find something to kind of push yourself into, just doing something different. Even if it's just going for a walk and telling, the neighbor, hey, I know I don't normally talk to you and I don't even know your name, but I'm going to go for a walk at, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Would you like to come join me outside for a walk? I don't know anything, but we kind of have to push past comfort zone and try to do something outside of the box to kind of pull ourselves from this experience that we've had in 2020 that has not been fun for anyone. Because we've all seen enough and we've all seen a lot, and a lot of from it all. And if you don't normally have holiday blues, it might be something different that you experience it this year because you're like, oh man, I can't do what I normally do for the holiday. And you just kind of have to find something new, find something different to do. I like Hallmark movies. Those things, they all end the same way, but it's you sit there and watch it oh, is Sally really going to get with Joe? Oh my goodness, the whole... And it's you know how it's going to end, but let's do it anyway.
I watch them, I confess. I watch them all the time.
I watch them some. I just be so disappointed it's not enough people that look like me in the Hallmark movies.
They have
to watch the Lifetime.
The Lifetime, yeah.
Yeah. Lifetime has more of us than that.
Girl, watch Lifetime. Yes, I have been looking for more of the movies. Yeah, like that look like me. Like we can have happy endings too. We can ride off into the sunset. Good time to start a wellness thread, sending well wishes and inspirational messages. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love the Hallmark Christmas movies. Please, Anthony. Yeah, I mean, I think, even with the heaviness of this year, there has been opportunities, that some things that you may not have thought about or done had this pandemic happen, because I can say for sure I definitely wouldn't be doing this if this pandemic had not happened, because every time the conversation came up, I was like, nope, not doing it. And then, I was like, okay, guess I'm stuck in this house. I might as well let's give it a try. And so here I am. It has forced me to step out and definitely do some different things. So as heavy as the year has been, I will say it hasn't it hasn't all been bad. I mean, my whole family, my immediate family, my extended family, as far as I know, nobody has gotten COVID.
Right.
Thank God. They haven't had to go through that experience. We've all made it to December, to have the holiday blues. It has been, I feel like, as far as relationships and friends and different things, I feel like it has caused us to try harder.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to be more present in relationships. You can't just, I'm so busy because it's like, you're not busy now. So it has, opened up some opportunities. Of course, I'm sure, we all wish that we could have had these opportunities under different circumstances.
Right.
But things things happen as they happen. But I think the best thing about even having the holiday blues too is you kind of realize some of your triggers. Like you notice the things that kind of make you sadder than others. Like you notice some of the things, like I will say for me, like I've noticed a lot about myself this year.
Yeah.
Like maybe not that I didn't really know it. I think I really just didn't care to address it in some of the things. I was like, that's just me. Like, but this year is kind of, because everything has slowed down, has made me really look at it like, is that you, or is that you being you? Like, are you being a knothead, or is that really a part of, who you are? Or are you trying to not feel hurt or feel whatever, so you get angry and snappy, so you don't have to feel or deal with whatever you're going through? So I will say I've had a lot of those moments that I really had to look at myself like, it's not really who I am. Even in this moment, like this is not who I am. So yeah, I've had a lot of that this year. Hopefully, and I'll say hopefully, because the real test of it comes when this is over. So I'll say hopefully, I've had some personal growth in some areas. When outside is not trying to kill us again, we'll see. We'll see how it rolls out. I feel like I've had some personal growth in some areas, and I definitely see a lot of things differently than I have previously. And it has caused me to slow down and even get back to mothering my children. Not that I wasn't doing it, but you mothering and you working, and you mothering and you working, and you mothering and working and churching, and like, so for me, it was a lot of running. Like I didn't even realize my kids had a new doctor, and I just met the doctor. like their dad has been taking them to the doctor for the last year and a half. Since I set up the doctor's appointment, I had never been to the doctor's office until 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago. I mean, and yes, I have a husband and he was holding it down and I get reports. So it's not like I'm absent, in the whole sense of the word, but it was just like we pulled up and I'm like, oh yeah, I never been here. So, in some ways it's kind of really made me look at like all that I have been doing for the year and a half and some of the things that I missed out on. And some of the things that I'm like, yeah, some things I don't want to miss. So it kind of has given me some perspective going forward. What do you think, Shanetta?
I would definitely say this year has definitely caused a lot of refocus and a lot of like rethinking of like how we do and what we do. I think what I worry about is that will some of us come out of this kind of having new perspectives and new ideas and new ways of doing things, and will others kind of slowly, gradually slip back into the way they used to do things, and we kind of forget the connections that we've made during this time and forget how to share and how to really care about people and let people know that you're thinking about them the way that we have in 2020. Will 2021 and 2022 we go back to like, I don't care nothing about you, let me keep on going minding my own business, not worried about you at all? Or will we still care as much? Will we still be as concerned about the feelings and the experiences of others next year and the year after? Because it doesn't just because COVID starts to get better does not necessarily mean that there still won't be people that are struggling and having hard times. Right. There'll still be people having difficulty and having hard times. And will we care for them as much? Will we want to see about them as much to kind of make sure that next year, this time, we learned, okay, we might learn this year, okay, they experience holiday blues. But next year, this time, will you check on that person? Will you invite them to your house for dinner? Will you, send them a gift in the mail to kind of cheer them up, or, whatever you can do to kind of just help them along the way? Or will we forget about it again?
Right. Trina?
I think just taking the time to be grateful this year. Like, I think one of the things that just really struck me with the whole COVID was people who were really sick and hospitalized and didn't have their relatives with them in those last moments. And that just, oh my God, like I couldn't imagine either being the person there, not having their relatives in those last moments, or being the relative not being able to be with your person. You know what I mean? Like, and so I'm so grateful, like, just to have my health and have my family's health. And so, going forward, just bearing in mind like what other people have been through this year, just like I just can't imagine the hurt and the regret. I mean, even though it wasn't something that they could have done about it, to get in there, to try to get and be to hold the hand of that person, but just like, for the rest of their lives, they're gonna think, they were alone in that moment, So I'm just so grateful. And a lot of times, like when you start to feel down, if you can just, reflect on just what you didn't go through,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's important. Try to be grateful. We've all made it to December. Prayerfully the worst is behind us. I mean, we still, hopefully everybody got your shovel, because we're still gonna have to dig out of this a little bit. But prayerfully the worst is behind us. Lend your shovel to your neighbor. They might need you to help, dig them out, give them a helping hand. No, that doesn't always mean money. Kindness goes a long way. A smile goes a long way. I have to say, I'm not much of a hugger, but I might hug a few extra people once we go outside. That's gonna be my mission. I'm a hug a few random people. This is big for me. I know that don't sound like much to everybody, but this is gonna be big for me. I'm putting myself on notice. We gonna hug somebody when this is over. Like,
I'm gonna talk to people.
Huh?
I'm gonna talk to people.
See, look, that's right. Look, I'm telling you, that little stuff, you'll never know how much the simple things might, mean to someone. Holiday blues, being down, depression, that stuff is real. Loneliness is real. Yes, maybe you're not experiencing it, but there are people that are. There are people that are sitting home feeling lonely and depressed and so hugging and talking. And, they don't know how to reach out. They're scared to reach out. They're scared to be rejected. Reach out to somebody you may not have reached out to in 6 months. Yeah. Check on somebody. Knock on your neighbor's door. Put some cookies on the thing or something. Cookies.
I try to do that. I try to bake cookies for the neighbors or bake a cake for the neighbors. And my kids always tell me it's really weird and not to do that. Because you don't know them like that. They're like, Mom, that's so weird. Don't do that.
I don't know. I think COVID gives you a perfect, excuse to do something out of the box and nice. I mean, you could buy one of the Walmart pound cakes. I mean, somewhere that may have, if you're worried about, people feeling weird, something with, stick a card on it, happy holidays, wishing you the best. There's always ways around it. Listen, I wish somebody would no, let me not say that because I might not eat it. I am weird about food. So I'm not even gonna,
right.
But it would be nice though. Like I would be like, oh my God, that's so nice. And then I would beat my children away from it because they would want to eat it. He said, yes, don't say that. Whatever. Because the kids and their father, Mr. Oh yeah, they would definitely want to eat it. Wouldn't even know who it came from. It would definitely be a kind gesture. Like they sell those big tins of popcorn for like $5. You can leave that on somebody's doorstep. They sealed. You don't got to open it. All sorts of nice little things we could do for people. And I would say, let's take these opportunities and think outside the box. I mean, you might be, have your family, your husband, your wife, your children, and your family, y'all are together and you might be tired of looking at them, but you're not alone. Or it might be like my neighbor across the street, Mr. Stanley, he by himself. He's an older Caucasian man. He living there by himself. I mean, yeah. So, when I think about stuff like that and people, I think it's important for us to be a little kinder this year, be a little more patient this year. You can practice with me. Practice what? Being kinder. You know what? I'm sorry. I can't stand it. But yeah, let's go the extra mile. Let's do something nice. Pay it forward. If you've been blessed this year, he says, send it a popcorn tin. If you've been blessed this year and you haven't lost your job, you haven't been laid off, do something nice for somebody. I don't know. Pay for somebody bread in the grocery store. I don't know. Pass them $10. I mean, you never know what the little things, how it may affect people. And I think this is the season and the perfect time for us to do just a little bit more. And that does not always mean financially. Like I said, be kinder, be more patient with people. I think all of that is definitely needed some kindness, some patience, just some love. We all can use, an extra little bit of love while we're self-contained, while we're, but so we thank you guys for watching. We thank you for the comments. We thank you for your support. We are on every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Again, we do miss Tangela tonight. She is with her family as they are grieving a loss, but she is always missed when she's not here. So we will see you guys again next Tuesday at 8:30.